June 24th, something literally monumental is happening that the mainstream tech press has kind of just ignored. It's this update buried deep in some technical documentation by Microsoft, officially aimed at hardware manufacturers. But when the sun comes up on that day, a massive number of people are going to wake up and find out that their computers simply do not work the way they did the night before. And to be clear, we aren't just talking about a weird glitch or a system slowdown. We're talking about your computer completely refusing to start the operating system that you specifically chose and installed. It's basically a digital wall being erected deep within the hardware itself.
All right, let's jump into Section 1, the June 24th deadline, a looming hardware crisis.
So who actually needs to pay attention to this? Well, if you're a primary Linux user who previously had Windows on your machine, you are at risk. If you run a dual boot configuration with Windows on the exact same machine, you are in the highest risk category of all. And this scales right up the ladder to system administrators and developers who are managing mixed deployments. Honestly, even if you're just a privacy-conscious individual who runs Windows but you've been maybe thinking about testing a Linux alternative, this update drastically raises the barrier to entry for you.
Moving right along to Section 2. Understanding Secure Boot, the gatekeeper of your motherboard.
Okay, think of Secure Boot as like an incredibly strict bouncer standing at the front door of your hardware. It was introduced back in the early 2010s, and its stated purpose is totally valid, right? It's there to prevent malicious software, like really dangerous bootkits, from sneaking in before your operating system even has a chance to load. It pulls this off by requiring every single piece of boot software to be cryptographically signed with a recognized, trusted key. If you don't have the signature, the bouncer says, "No way," and the machine will not start. So the security concept itself is totally sound, but the underlying decade-old issue here has always been who actually gets to control those keys. And on the overwhelming majority of PCs out there today, the institution managing that root of trust is Microsoft.
Which, as you might guess, creates a massive power imbalance. The Windows boot process is incredibly straightforward. Microsoft controls the keys, Microsoft signs Windows, Windows boots. Boom, easy. But for Linux, totally different story. Linux has historically had to navigate this whole environment through a pretty fragile workaround called a shim. Now, a shim is just a tiny bootloader, but it's signed by Microsoft's certificate authority. It basically acts as a middleman. It loads up first because it has that Microsoft signature, and then it immediately turns around and loads the actual Linux bootloader using Linux's own keys. It is literally an engineering solution to a political problem, and somehow it has worked, albeit imperfectly, for over a decade.
All right, Section 3. Microsoft's SBAT update explained, breaking the chain of trust.
So here's the kicker. Microsoft isn't directly attacking that shim workaround by just revoking its signature. Instead, they're implementing something called Secure Boot Advanced Targeting, or SBAT. This is a brand new policy layer that adds a really powerful revocation mechanism. Honestly, think of it as a highly specific digital hit list that gets delivered completely silently through Windows Update. Once it's chilling in your system, it's fully capable of blocking specific versions of shim, even if those versions carry perfectly valid cryptographic signatures. And wouldn't you know it, the revocation list arriving on June 24th just so happens to include the exact shim versions that the overwhelming majority of current Linux distributions absolutely depend on to start. Let's actually walk through what this looks like when you turn on your PC, because it is a catastrophic failure that happens in literally the blink of an eye. In the first millisecond, you push power on. Within a microsecond, the UEFI firmware checks the keys. But then, in a nanosecond, this new SBAT layer intercepts the whole process, checks its new revocation list, and completely rejects the Linux shim. The final result? The boot process completely fails, the machine spits out a cryptic error, and for your everyday user, it's going to look exactly like their computer just permanently broke.
Now, Microsoft claims this update is completely necessary to fix known vulnerabilities in older shim versions. And speaking neutrally here, they aren't entirely wrong about that. Some of those older shims definitely do have documented security issues, and boot security genuinely is important, though you do kind of have to appreciate the dark irony of a security update functionally bricking the computers of millions of users overnight, right? However, it is the implementation of this that's raising massive red flags. There is a total lack of coordination with Linux maintainers. There were absolutely zero warnings built into Windows Update for dual booters. Literally, the people most affected by this change were the absolute last people Microsoft told about it. It's a security mechanism deployed in a way that heavily favors Microsoft's competitive dominance by maximizing the disruption to alternative operating systems.
Which brings us to Section 4, the 6-step survival guide, how to protect your system.
Okay, following this precise, methodical plan is absolutely critical if you want to keep your machine running. Step 1. Go check your Linux distribution's forums right now to see if they've released an updated shim package that actually avoids this revocation list, and if they have, install it immediately. Step 2. Back up your entire Linux partition today. Use a tool like Clonezilla. Just get it done. Step 3. Restart your machine, dive into your UEFI firmware setup, and physically write down or take a picture of your current secure boot settings so you have a reference point. Step 4. Boot into Windows and pause Windows Update for the absolute maximum duration to buy yourself some time before that revocation list lands. Step 5. If your Linux distro hasn't released a shim fix yet, you might actually need to disable Secure Boot entirely in your firmware or use a command line tool to enroll your own machine owner key. And finally, Step 6. If you are watching this explainer after June 24th and your system is already busted, you're going to need to boot from an independent Linux Live USB drive just to access your partition and manually restore functionality.
All right, Section 5. Who really controls your PC? The hardware autonomy debate.
Look, the stark reality of modern computing is exactly this. Microsoft controls the root certificate, what gets signed, what gets revoked, the timeline, and the communication. The whole shebang. For years, freedom advocates have been warning us that giving any single corporation this much control over the boot layer of the world's personal computers was a massive, massive risk. And honestly, a lot of people just thought they were being paranoid edge cases. But June 24th takes that theoretical threat and makes it incredibly concrete. It literally proves that a decision made in a corporate boardroom can be pushed out to hundreds of millions of machines simultaneously, wiping out the functional operating system choices of millions without even asking for permission.
Because here's the thing. A 6-step recovery guide is really just a temporary bandage. The structural long-term fix isn't just endlessly updating a shim. The real solution lies in moving toward genuinely open hardware and community-controlled firmware projects, stuff like Coreboot and LibreBoot. These are boot security mechanisms that do not force you to route your trust through a single corporate certificate authority that has its own competitive interests. Now sure, they require some technical sophistication today, but events exactly like this are what moves open firmware projects from being a niche hobby to an absolute necessity.
Which brings us to our final thought. When you push the power button on the hardware that you bought with the money that you earned, who answers when your computer starts? Is it you or is it Microsoft? If this explainer has shown us anything, it's that your digital autonomy is absolutely not guaranteed by default. You have to understand it and you have to claim it. So please, take those protective steps before June 24th. Secure your hardware and do not let an automated update take away your freedom to choose.